So moving on then to the fight this Saturday, with again, I don't understand. Say the Chisora thing with the ring walk. This fight's been arranged. It's 2 years in the making. It's two fighters who've had. Well, Canelo's ridiculous. I think he turned pro. I remember watching him. I'm showing my age now. I remember watching him when he was 17 when he turned pro, and or maybe even 16. He's had more than I haven't looked at the stats, but I know he's on 50 plus fights, and he only lost against Mayweather. But I know that because he was Saul Alvarez. There was no Canelo. No idea where that's come from. It was Saul Alvarez, and I saw this kid at 17, 18, and I say he's only 25, 26 now, so it's only 7, 8 years, but he's thrown in 50 odd fights. He's beat, if you look at his last 10, 15 fights, phenomenal. The people that he's fought, and he's fighting, probably 3 times a year on average, and he was probably fighting 4 times a year for his first 6 years, and he was thrown in with men. He was 17 years old. He was thrown in with, 25-year-old Mexicans, and he wiped the floor with them. And even at 17, 18, he had big shoulders. He had a big neck. For me, he shouldn't have fought Mayweather because he wasn't experienced. He had 40 fights. So people will go, but he had 40 fights. Yeah, but look at the 40 people who he fought. And there wasn't a single name on there. I think he fought Shane Mosley 2 or 3 fights before, but Mosley's been washed up for 5 years, and then he fought Austin Trout, another one who was at the end of his career. So he hadn't fought a single name, and then to throw him in with Mayweather, who he took him to school, to be fair, if you've seen the fight. But it was like man against a boy. Yeah, I could imagine. I could imagine that. But now, for me, Canelo would beat him all day long. It's the experience thing, isn't it? Yeah, but you see these things on, on like a Twitter poll, who would win at their peak? For me, Canelo would beat him all day long, because Mayweather, for all of his, his attributes, the one thing that he didn't have, which it really annoyed me when he fought Ricky Hatton. If you've ever seen the Hatton fight, is Hatton had the beating of Mayweather. He was inside him. He was throwing loads of body punches, and every single time he got inside him, the ref pulled him apart. American ref, very good ref, but I've never seen anything like it. And Hatton would have had a very good chance, but he wouldn't let him. The ref wouldn't let him anywhere near Mayweather's chin. So I think this one now, the palaver about the ring. Yeah, I've seen that. Why isn't that written in the contract? I'm not sure. I presume Billie Joe wants a bigger ring so that he can dance and run around, because he's very, very elusive, and Canelo will find him probably his hardest opponent to catch him. And if you've got a 20-foot ring on the inside, it's going to be easier. So you would have thought there'd be something written in the contract. This is the size of the ring. Surely. Yeah, you'd think it'd be sorted before the week of the fight, what size ring they were having. And like you say, you'd think it'd be in the contract. With it being such a big fight as well, you'd think it'd be in the contract. But yeah, it's just great. For me, it's crazy, because you said it is crazy. I've been reading it, what I've seen online. I just think it's crazy. After you get flown John Ryder out. They've flown John Ryder out as a replacement in case it doesn't happen. I know, and that's true because who was it now? There was something on Twitter earlier, like a proper interview of somebody in Canelo's camp, and they've confirmed it. I think that's where I saw it. Yeah, it's been confirmed. Sort of on a week of, it's the Mexican Day, May the 8th, isn't it? Camp Cinco de Mayo. Is it the 8th? May the 8th? Is this Cinco de Mayo is today, I think, isn't it? The 5th of May? Yeah. Oh, but it's I'm not very good at Spanish. He always has a big fight on the week of, Cinco de Mayo, doesn't he? Yeah, always. Yeah. So to have your big fight, I know that there's a crowd there, but it's not, maximum. You've flown out. I think it is. Sorry, I think it's because it's in Dallas, in Texas. So I think it's going to be 70,000 in wherever the Dallas Cowboys play. It's the massive American football stadium. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. AT&T, isn't it?
I think it's going to be 70,000. I heard apparently full capacity because they don't really care in Texas like Florida. So.
Yeah, it's part of Donald Trump's area, so they don't really understand that if you get a virus, you can die.
No,
but
everything's bigger in Texas. Look.
But to have 70,000 there, to fly a team over there, the expense of everything, and then go, hold on a second, there's 2 foot difference, which is massive. It's just ridiculous. So what are your thoughts on it then, Nicola, first? What are your thoughts on, obviously it's come together, it's taken years, they could have fought at any time, they're both world champions. What's your take on it?
I think it's going to be a good fight, and I do like, I like watching Canelo box. So I think Canelo's going to win Billie Joe, to be honest.
Why do you think that? What's the...
Well, if he can cut him off the ring and get inside, that is, and Billie Joe's not dancing about the ring.
Matt?
Yeah, I agree with Nicola. I think Canelo's going to win. I don't know if it's all the ring talk making me think he'll be able to stick Billie Joe down and negate his footwork, but I think... what kind of style hasn't Canelo fought against at the minute? He's faced punches and beat him. He's beaten counter punches, sort of slick movers as well. And like you said, his head movement seems to be getting better and better. If you watch his training videos, it's absolutely insane. I mean, it's not like those weird speed videos you see Ryan Garcia landing 50 punches in 5 seconds, but
and then goes for half an hour break.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
But like, you think of who Canelo's beaten since the 2 Triple G wins, if you want to call them that, but I think Rocky Fielding, Danny Jacobs, Kovalev, it was Callum Smith, and then that Turkish fella Yildirim last time, wasn't it? He's just been on an absolute tear, and it's the 2 scenarios whether Billie Joe can sort of use the ring if it's big enough and sort of get away from him, manage to sort of pull ahead like Sonny Edwards did at the weekend, and then sort of if you can get 6-7 rounds ahead and sort of just carry on a bit from there, I don't know if he can do that against someone like Canelo, but yeah, I just think his power. He didn't do so well against Martin Murray, did he?
I'm laughing because I can't believe you put Rocky Fielding in with all those other ones.
Oh, I just went chronologically. That was because, but also it wasn't his brother kidnapped or something while he was doing the Rocky Fielding fight. He was like negotiating his release during fight week or something. Bananas like
I don't know, but he fought Rocky Fielding and just like pulverized him in the first round. And he took him apart in a couple of rounds. And, Fielding shouldn't have even been in there with him. Callum Smith knocked Fielding out in the first round. And it's like it reminded me of when you put the sacrificial cow in Jurassic Park for the dinosaur to come. It was just like, boom, he's got him. And he's like, when he fought Amir Khan, the Khan's going to box for 2 or 3 rounds, and then he's going to get pinged, and it's going to be, good night Vienna. But yeah, he's fought Kovalev, Triple G, I thought, beat him both times, but all the other ones, he's won. He's had some massive fights, and he's won. For me, it's 50-50 for me. I think it's a lot closer than what people think. Billie Joe doesn't fight anywhere near as much. I think he's naturally a fantastic boxer. He's funny. He's a funny guy, which doesn't mean anything. But I just think that it could be very close, because when he's fought, I think every time he fights somebody that's a step up, he takes 2 or 3 steps up.
He steps up.
He fights to he fights to the opponent's ability. When he fought that David LeMay, he made him look stupid. And LeMay was, I think, Canadian, isn't he? I think he's Canadian. He's beaten some good fighters. He's got a big punch, and Billie Joe Saunders made him look stupid. I'm not saying he's going to make Canelo look stupid. My only thing is, if it comes down to the judges, he's going to have to win by 12 rounds to 0, because Canelo is a cash cow like Mayweather, and Canelo clearly lost one fight against Triple G, but he got the decision. The other one was closer, but he lost and he got the decision. So this is out in America. America as in Mexico, America. It's going to be full. It's going to be full of Mexicans. He's the hottest property for money wise on the planet. And you've seen some ridiculous decisions in the last 3-4 years in boxing. So for him to lose on points, I can't see it happening.
Yeah, I can't.
And I can only see Billie. I can't see Billie Joe knocking him out, because I couldn't see Thor knocking him out with his club, you know. Because if Kovalev couldn't knock him out, who was 2 weights above and, you know, a beast of a bloke. I saw him knock out, you know, Nathan Cleverly when he first came on the scene, and he's a beast of a guy. And you see the punches that Golovkin threw on Canelo, you know, unbelievable punches that would have taken people's heads off. And same as, you know, Golovkin's got a good chin, but I can't see how we can knock him out, and I can't see how we can win on points. So it's difficult to make a case for Saunders unless he completely closes him out, like what Mayweather did. And it's possible. For me, it's possible.
It is possible, definitely. I agree.
But it's go on, sorry, Mark.
So didn't Mayweather make him? What weight did they fight at? Was it like 157 or 154 or something?
No, it wasn't. It was nothing to do with weight. It was nothing to do.
I
with
thought
weight.
Mayweather made him sort of cut down, because he usually is it 160, 168. He fights at the minute.
He fights at one. He was fighting at 160 then.
160.
He's always been a middleweight. He's moved up to super middleweight.
Yep.
You know, so he's gone from 154. No, sorry, 160 is middleweight.
Yep.
And then 168, and then he moved up to 176 for Kovalev, I think it was. Or they're 7 pound increments. You know, so, but. Yeah, it didn't make any difference. It made no difference. It was all down to his experience, and he had nowhere near the head movement. He's got all these different weird punches now, like you know, faking a right uppercut and coming across with the left, and he's got these. You know, you'll see it in the fight. In his last 2 fights, he's got some weird punches that he's obviously like what Prince Naseem used to do. He'd coming in from ridiculous angles, and you know, you've never seen him do it before. But no, Mayweather made him look silly. But he had no experience of fighting, you know, in front of a massive. He was just a rabbit in headlights, but he's improved 1,000,000% since then. You can't even compare that. But no, it's going to be close.